your social media manager here at Vertical Response, and welcome to today's webinar. This is called Building the Foundation of a Great Facebook Page. And so we obviously know that Facebook is a great platform, not only on a personal level. A lot of people use that. I think we're up to 1.4 billion people worldwide use this on a consistent basis. Within a 30-day period, they log into Facebook at some time. And it's also a great platform for businesses. Now, Facebook, I'll be totally honest with you, Facebook has not made it easy as of late to use it from a business standpoint from a free perspective. You do have to kind of pay a little money in order to get your content seen by a larger audience. That wasn't always the case, and unfortunately, that's a little upsetting for all of us because we got spoiled with using it for free. But now Facebook's trying to make some money, and they are charging us to see our content. But what I want to focus on today is a couple different things. First of all, we want to know, what is a Facebook page? I want to show you kind of what we have going on and show you how we utilize it for our audience. And then we're going to get into the basics of setting up a page. There are some different categories that you can set your Facebook page up under. And if we have some small businesses on here that have a physical location, you would set it up a little bit differently than, say, if you have a nonprofit, then you would set that up under a different category. And they're very similar in the way they look, but if you have that physical location, that address piece is very key, because now with the new layout from Facebook, they are putting in some information that is specific to that, like mapping your address. You can even get reviews in there. Then I'm also going to give you some things to think about when you're launching the page, if you're launching it for the first time. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about promoting your Facebook page. We will have a Q&A session at the end of this, but please feel free to use the chat section to enter any questions that you might have. If it's something that I can see right away and it pertains to what we're talking about, I'll try to get to it right away. Otherwise, I'll save it for the last for the Q&A, and then we'll always have some resources at the tail end so you guys can get those. All right, so let's just jump into this. I'm going to go ahead and, whoops, I want to go to the Q&A already. Let's get out of the PowerPoint and let's jump into Facebook itself. So hopefully everyone can see my Facebook page. Now, I just want to give some ground rules of how the Facebook page structure works. So when you sign up with Facebook, you obviously sign up under a personal profile, and that's me up here. This is my personal profile, and then I have a lot of different information over here. One of those aspects is pages, and these are pages that I'm an administrator for. So in order to have a page, you have to have a personal profile, and a lot of people get kind of weirded out around that because they think, well, I don't want people to know or connect with me on a personal level. I have to say, it wasn't always this easy, but Facebook has made it a lot cleaner in separating the personal profile from the business page. And so the only reason that you have to connect your profile to your page is just to be the admin on that page. Now, you can choose to show that you are an admin or not. If you want to keep that hidden and just have the page be represented without you associated with that, you can go ahead and do that. But you do have to have a personal profile in order to have a page. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump into our page. Let me get this out of the way here. And so for those of you that haven't been into your page layout recently, I would say within the last month or so, there is a new layout. Things are pretty different. We used to have tabs up here in the top that you could access. There was just the layout was a lot different. But now, instead of having the two columns that they used to have for all of your content, it shows up in one column right here on this left-hand or the right-hand side here. And then on the left-hand side, you kind of have this flow of information going down. Now, like I said, if you did have a physical location, that information would be up here on the top. It would show a little map. It would show your address. But since we don't really promote our physical location because we serve customers all over the world, we don't have that in here. But you can still find that information if you go into the About section on some of the other pages. We choose not to put that physical location on here because we're an online company. You also have, because on this people side here, I'm showing you the likes that we have, but it will also, because I'm an admin and it connects me on a profile level, it does give me the opportunity to tell other people about my page, and I can invite them within here. But again, not everybody will see that when they're looking at the page on the top level. What else do I want to show you guys here? We'll get into this in a little more detail. You know, we have photos. We have people that have posted their information to our page. We also have other pages that we have liked. So that's kind of the basics of what the page looks out. Now I want to get into kind of the new layout. If you go to facebook.com/about/pages, you can see all the information about the new page, why they did the layout. It even gives you some great examples of some very high-profile pages that you can take a look at and get some ideas on what you might want to do for your page. Also, if you go to facebook.com/pages, you can see all of the pages out there. You can search under categories, you can search under sports, you can search under business leaders, you can search under magazines, all kinds of different information, and then you can see a bunch of the different pages that are out there and just get some different ideas. But what we really want to focus on today in here is actually creating a page. So I want to just share with you some of the different categories that you can put your page under. So again, like I was talking about earlier, if you have a physical local business that has a physical location, let's say you have a restaurant, a deli, you have a boutique, then you're going to want to come over here into the local business or place. And if I click on that, you'll see, because not only do you get to choose a category for your business, but then it's also going to ask you for your, in addition to your business or place name, it's going to ask you for your address, city, state, zip code, and phone number. And at least on the city and state, and I think even on the zip code, it does check to make sure that that is legit, because when you start to put in there, it's not like you just put it in there. If I start to type, like say San Francisco, for example, it actually pulls a pull-down menu, or it shows a pull-down menu that you can choose from. Now on the company, organization, or institution, this is where you would just choose a category and then just put your company name. The reason that I bring this one up is if there's any nonprofits that are on the call here, nonprofits actually fall under in this category. And so because you're pulling, you know, you're not really limited necessarily, unless you are a local nonprofit, you're not usually limited to just where your physical space is. It would probably be a better idea to put it under this category than to put it under this category. There's also other 4 other categories in here: a brand or product, an artist, band, or public figure, entertainment, or a cause or community. So if you do have any of those, or if you want to make a separate page, and you can have as many pages as you want. You can be an admin of as many pages as you want. You can put those all in these different categories. But we're going to focus really tightly on these local business or place. And so since I don't have a physical location, I'm going to make up a fake online business. I'm going to put this under aerospace, and it's going to be Bob's Airplane. Help if I could spell airplane. I'm having sticky fingers today. All right, so we're going to call it Bob's Airplane Store. And then, whoops, I forgot to get that one. I made this in a example when I was going through. I'm just going to call it Bob's Airplane Place. I had set up one earlier just as I was going through. So now it's going to take you through the step-by-step instructions on how to build this page. And I think I have to give kudos to Facebook for doing this, because this used to be much more challenging when you went through this. We have a question here from Marta. Can one page have two administrators? Yes, one page can have multiple administrators, and I'll show you that when I get to back to our page to show you the administrator function. You can add as many administrators as you want, but you do have to have at least one administrator in it, or it will ask you to delete the page when you take the last administrator off. So great question. So when we come in here to set up Bob's Airplane Place, we're going to tell, and I've already put all this down so we could get through this kind of quick. So we're going to have the About section. I'm going to tell the people what our page is about. We're also going to have a website, www.bobsairplaneplace.com. And then what it gives you, and I really recommend people, if you're setting up this page, to try to find this customized URL from Facebook, because if we put this in here, Bob's Airplane Place, then it's going to give us a facebook.com/Bob's Airplane Place. So if this goes along with your company name, it's much easier to use this if you want to drive traffic back to your Facebook page to be able to utilize this. Now, a little caveat to that is, again, there's 1.4 billion people on Facebook. People get to use this capability also for their personal profiles. So there's a lot of competition if you have a very common business name, or you want to use some common name within that Facebook environment. I can probably guarantee you that it's probably taken. So just think about that as you're creating this page and what you call it, in order to make sure that you have something that will actually be there that you can utilize. And then it asks you a final question: is Bob's Airplane Place a real organization, school, or government? It's not. This just helps within the organization and when you're going to search for these different pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and save the info. It's going to take me to the next step, which is adding a profile picture. And we can go ahead and upload that from our computer here. I've already got something in place here. Got my little funny photo. It's going to upload that into the system. Now this profile photo has to be 180 pixels by 180 pixels. So it is a square. And we're going to go ahead and put that up there. And then we can go ahead and add this to our favorites. Now again, when I showed you my personal profile, this is going to take this and add this to my favorites underneath my favorite section on that left-hand side, so I can easily find it. The problems they used to have back a few years ago is when you would create a page, unless you had that customized URL, you never knew how to get back to it. And so people would create these pages and they had no idea how to actually get it. They'd go to the search, it wouldn't come up in the search box. It was a very big challenge. So this is one of the things that they're trying to alleviate, people kind of losing their pages. So it instantly adds it to your favorites, and then you can access that really quickly. Now this is the part that I want to just share with you guys, that I don't really agree with what Facebook is trying to do here. So you have to realize I just went through 3 steps to set up this page. And now Facebook is already asking me if I want to get more people to like my page. I have no content on my page whatsoever. All I have is a profile photo and the name of the page. And so I don't know about you guys, but I don't really want to go to a page that has no content whatsoever. There's been no interaction on the page whatsoever. So I understand that Facebook's trying to make money, but they're trying, in my opinion, they're trying to get you to start promoting this page way too early. And so I'm going to skip this because I just don't think it's the right way to go about when you're setting up a page. And so I'm going to share a couple of my ideas about what I think you should do with this page before you go ahead and promote that. So it does take you through some other steps on what the different tabs and the different sections of your page are all about. So one thing is the page itself. Everything that you need to manage this page is kind of at the top now. And so you can easily, it tells you to, hey, go ahead and like your own page. So some of the important information on the side over there is how many people have come to your page, how many people have interacted with your content. Now again, it wants you to invite people to come to this page. It wants you to make connections. Now I agree that you should connect with your friends that you have on Facebook and maybe even use your email database to go out and get other people to like your page, but maybe not necessarily at this time. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that. So now we have our page here. One of the other things that you can do is you can add a cover photo, and that really does set your page off. So if you go ahead and come up here and click to the add a cover, again, you're going to choose, oops, I don't want to choose from my photos. I want to upload a photo. I want to upload a photo. Again, I'll go back. I already made a cover photo, so I could easily do this. Go ahead and hit enter. And now this photo is it's a weird dimension. It's 851 pixels wide by 315 pixels high. Very odd, very odd dimensions, but that's what they give you. So again, it's 851 wide by 315 high. And then you can go ahead and save the changes. And now you have your profile photo, and then you also have your cover photo. Now I put a headshot in here. I didn't want you guys to think that this could be your logo. It could be a photo of your product if you have just a product that you're making one page for. It can be a lot of different things. I just happen to put a photo just because it's something I found really easily. So now we have our page. We have one post up on this. This is where Facebook and I differ on our strategies around your page. So I've just now created this page. What I want to be able to do is I want to be able to get a little bit of content on this page for people to interact with. And so that can be a bunch of different stuff. That could be, if I just go into Google and I just put in airplane and I go to the news section. Okay, there's some really great stories here. And let's say I write all about airplanes and what's going on. I could go ahead and copy this, and I could drop this into my feed here, and then I could put my own commentary on this. This is a great article about airplanes. And then I can go ahead and post that. So now I have another piece of content that someone could interact with. Now the great thing is if you have your own blog, or you have your own resource site, or you have a catalog, or you have new products that you want to shoot some photos of, there's a lot of content that you could come up with very quickly that is not only about your products or services, but it could also be about the category that you're in. So again, in my example, if I have, and I'm writing about airplanes, I can put other people's airplane content in there, and I can also make a comment on that and try to build some engagement there. So I would really do this, and I would, there's no set hard number on how many posts you should put up, but I think you should at least have maybe 8 or 10 pieces of content on your page, so people would have to, scroll down a little bit in order to, see that you have a decent amount of content. Now everybody started here. Everybody has started from scratch, and so they understand that. But I think if you come to a page and you start promoting a page right off the bat and you have no content on your page, I think it just makes for a really bad experience from your audience's perspective. And so that's why I tell most people, hey, put a little bit of content there and then you can start thinking about building ads. After you do that, there's a couple different things that you can do. Now again, you can invite specific friends that you want that are connected with you on a personal profile. You can give them a little message that will in inviting them to come and like this page. So if I put in here, I'm going to put Kim because I know, and I'm going to go ahead and invite her, then that will send off a little invitation to Kim to come and like this page. Now they do give you milestones in here. They try to make it encouraging. You want to try to get that 100 likes because obviously you need to have an audience in order to make this page work. If you don't have anyone that has liked your page, then no one will ever see your content and no one will ever interact with it. This is also where Facebook is making it somewhat challenging because even if you do have an audience, like in our case, we have north of 25,000 likers of our page, and I still have to pay a little bit on the content that I put out to make sure that that audience can see that content. And that's just the way that Facebook has changed since they become a public company. They really do force you to do that if you want to have your content be seen. So there is the basics of our page. What I want to also show you is some great information. So now I have an activity button. I've got one notification. It shows me that I have liked my own page, but this will show you all of the notifications that you have. So if anyone comes in and comments on a post, if anyone comes in and likes it or shares it, it'll share all that information in here. It'll also give you notifications in here if someone sends you a message or if someone posts something to your page. And this is very critical, and this is why I pay attention to this activity tab, is because if someone is having some outside interaction, it's not like you just all the time get a notification and can automatically go and see that. So if you come into your page and you see a little red box here with a number in it, that means that you have some kind of activity on your page, and you should pay attention to that. Because if someone does come in here and sends a message to you, unless you're looking at this, you could totally not see that for several hours. Now I'm going to go back to the settings in here, and you can adjust a lot of different stuff within the page itself. So you can see all of this different posting ability. Now this is really critical, especially on the posting ability, is you can give different people different abilities in order to post on your page. Some people don't want people to necessarily be able to post directly on their page. So you can do a couple different things. You can, it's automatically on default clicked that everyone can post to your page or to your timeline, and that everyone can add photos and videos to your timeline also. If you don't want that, if you don't want to give your audience that ability to be able to do that, you have to come in here and uncheck that and then save those changes. There's a lot of different things. I don't want to spend all the time going through all this, but there's profanity filters, there's page moderation. You can block people from the pages if you have someone that comes in there and is being abusive. So you do have some checks and balances in order to protect yourself from the page perspective. You can also come in here to the page info, and you can edit anything. So if you happen to change, the name of your page, if you want to change the web address, you can come and do that all in here. And then it also gives you obviously a Facebook ID number. But you guys can take a look at all this, and there's a lot of different aspects that you can do. If I go back to my page, what I want to show you is you'll see that I have one more tab than just the page activity and settings. I also have a tab called Insights. Now, once you start to get your page up and running and you start to get a lot more activity, you'll have this Insights button. And when you click on that, this gives you some great information regarding the people that are interacting on your page. not only information specific, demographic information specifically about your audience, but it also gives you information about different things that they're doing on your pages. So, on the overview side, you can see, your page likes, how it's growing, from week to week, how many new page likes you've gotten, and then it gives you breakdowns on the percentage increase or decrease from the week previous. It also shows you the reach of your posts, how many people it has a total reach of, and then it also gives you the engagement, how many people have engaged on your page itself. And then you get to see your individual posts on what you've put out. If you have spent any money to promote those posts, how much is left, and then you can actually go in and see, and this is a great example right here. I'll just show you. I have $9.19 left on this. The organic, this is the reach right here. The organic reach on this particular post was 72 people. And had I not paid for any reach to happen on that, that's all that would have seen that or had the potential to see that. And then on the paid side, I got 22,240. So you can really get an idea of what Facebook is kind of doing and how they're treating your individual posts. So just because someone likes your page, and this is a big question I get all the time, just because people like your page does not necessarily mean that they will see your content when you put it up. So a lot of people are fearful about putting up content multiple times through the day, and I always tell them it's not like email. It's not like you're sending or putting up a post and it goes and notifies these people that you put up a new piece of content. It's kind of becoming like, if those of you that are familiar with Twitter, is when you put a post up in Twitter, it kind of goes through the feed, and unless someone is right there at that time, it's not like they see everything that you put out. So I really do encourage people from a posting perspective you can put up multiple times if you want to, and not be fearful that people are not people are getting bombarded with your different posts. Great question that we have from Tom. How many likes do I have to set up a business? You don't have to have any likes anymore. You used to have 25 likes to get a customized URL, a Facebook URL. They've even done away with that now too. So they're making it a lot easier for you to get your page up and running. So there is no floor on the amount of likes. Another question from Megan. Should keyword cities or other things be included in the Facebook URL? Is there a benefit, or just keep it short, easier to type? I would definitely go with the shorter, easier to type if you can get that. If you start getting something that's long and confusing, even though you might have it on a piece of printed document that you want to try to get people there, if you're trying to give that to someone on the fly, or even if they're trying to find it on your website, your regular website, if it's too complicated, I think it just makes it challenging for your audience to find that page. Maximax, how do you mark locations so that it goes worldwide? I'm not 100% sure if I'm understanding your question, but I think you're talking about your page itself. It doesn't necessarily make it go worldwide. It can be accessed worldwide, I guess is what I mean. When we go back to that building a page, if you're going to a local physical location versus just like an organization, like a nonprofit organization, it doesn't really differentiate that it's worldwide or anything like that. The local just gives you the aspect to put in a physical address, and then it puts that physical address on your page, and it also gives a little map of where that location is. So if you want to get people to actually, because a lot of people are using Facebook now as their information center. So if they come in there and they find your page for your deli, and it has that address and phone number and website right on there, and then it has a little map, people can it's much easier for people to find your physical location than trying to scour kind of all around. So that's the main difference between those. It's not really that one goes worldwide and one doesn't. And then Danielle asks, can you explain the money that is spent and left? Oh, good question. So this comes back to when you do have a post. So if I go ahead and go to this post itself. So this is a post that I put up this morning. Well, let me show you an older one so you can kind of see what's going on here. Let's show you that one that I just showed you here. So this is a post that I put up 21 hours ago. And I had started with a budget on this particular post of $50 for this particular post. And then I have $19.19 left. If I click into there, it shows me how much budget I spent on this particular post, how many actions I got, and then I can see the different things, the engagement. I can see how many people clicked the link and went back to our blog where this particular post sits. I can see how many page likes I received, and I can see how many likes the post itself got. If the post is doing really well, I can actually increase the reach and add more budget to it. I can also see a breakdown of the interaction from a demographic standpoint, and I can also see what country these groups came from. And when you're creating, when you're boosting your post, or if you're doing an ad or whatever, it gives you the ability to pick different locations that you want this. I'm sorry, it shows you different locations of the people on Facebook that you want to see your particular piece of content. So for example, our main, the main countries that our product is used in is usually English-speaking countries. So I normally focus on, obviously, the US, Canada, Great Britain, New Zealand, and Australia. And so that's why you'll see here the bulk of my stuff is in that, because I just break it down to that. I don't have it go off to, you know, France or Spain or anything like that, that they're not going to really be able to easily read my content and interact with it. So you can do that even on a very local basis. So if you go into it and you pick the US, you can actually pick, you could pick San Francisco, or you could pick you know, San Jose, or whatever you want to do. So it gives you a lot of flexibility on only spending money and hitting the audience that you really, really want to see. All right. Got some other questions here. Hang on a second. All right. So from Marta, do not for-profits have to pay for content to be seen? Marta, unfortunately, yes. They don't differentiate between a for-profit and a not-for-profit in regards to the content being seen by your audience. Alex asks, can you add 2 different locations to your Facebook page? No, you cannot. You would have to create 2 different pages, and I have seen that. For example, I went to a conference a while back, and the woman that runs social for Whole Foods was there, and they have a corporate page, a corporate Whole Foods page, and then each one of their locations has its own independent page, so they can put on, you know, local specials or local items that they would have only at that particular location. So if you do have 2 different locations, if it's only 2, it might be okay to have 2 different locations. I've seen a lot of different companies, especially like restaurants and stuff, that have individual Facebook pages for those individual locations. Hopefully that answered your question. They say default is USA, so how worldwide? Maxim, I'm not sure where are you seeing that particular piece of information. I'm not 100% sure. What is the suggested budget for paid? They just put a number in there that what they think you should pay, but you can change that. So again, if I go back, let me go back to a post to show this, because I know this is somewhat interesting for a lot of people. If I go, let's get out of here real quick. And thank you guys for the great questions. This is some good stuff. So I'll just do it on this since I do have, so if I want to go ahead and say this was my own piece of content, and I go ahead and hover over the boost post, it brings up this different thing. So I guess when you have to do at least $1 on the budget, but they throw in a suggested budget, and it's always usually higher than you would probably ever want to spend. Because like when I put mine in there, it's like $250, and it's like, that's crazy. I would never do that. And then what it does is it gives you the ability to see the estimated people reach of that particular post. So obviously if I did it to 5, but you can see down the side, it also shows you all the estimated. So obviously as you go with more money, you're going to be able to be seen by more people. And so that's, but if we come up here to the audience, and I'm not sure, Maxim, if this is where you're seeing it, it gives you the ability to create an audience. And on the countries, you know, you just can type this in here. So if I started typing United States, then United States would come up. If I wanted to go into Italy, I could type Italy. If I wanted to do San Fran, oh, I guess it only does it on the countryside now. Oh, I have to change this. I'm sorry. They changed this. If I do want to do the states, then I can do California. And then if I wanted to go even deeper, if I wanted to go on cities, then I could go down to, and this is on a worldwide basis, I could go down to San Francisco. So it gives me, and then I can also, on the city level, which I think is really cool, they can, you can do up to, you can do from +5 miles up to +50 miles in a radius around that particular location. Going back to, I think Maxim had another question, or had an update. Okay, Tom has another question. Some people have had trouble getting to my page just using the name, but when I sent them the URL, it worked fine. I was told that it was because I did not have 30 likes. That might have been the way it was, Tom, in the old days. I'm not sure what your URL is now for your particular page, if you do have a custom URL, a custom Facebook URL. But sometimes they're hard to find in the search aspect. I don't know why that is. I don't know, maybe there is some 30 like rule that I don't know about, but I still have a hard time, you know, using this search box to find different pages. And I just think that's because the search function within Facebook is not up to par with, like, say, you know, a Google or a Yahoo. That's my take on it, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It will not let you promote, even paying for it, Tom. That is a new one, because you saw, I mean, I just created this page, and I, you know, was able to try to promote that post right there. So I'm not sure why it's blocking you on that. Maybe we can talk offline if you send me an email. Maybe I can help you with that. All right. Maxim has another question. Early pages on your presentation showed set up Bob's airplane page number 4, reach more people. And that's what I was going to go back to in just a sec. I thought Facebook page was viewable by everyone. Why do you say that if no one likes it, no one will see it? Okay, maybe I misspoke on that, Mary. What I meant was anybody can come. If they have the URL for your page, they can see the page. What I was talking about was not the page itself, it was the content on the page. So if I have Bob's airplane page, and if you have not clicked on the like button for my page to like my page, then you would never see my content in your news feed on your personal profile. That's what I meant. So in order for people to even have a remote chance to see your content, they have to have liked your page. Otherwise, there's no connection there whatsoever. I'm going to go to 2 more questions, and then I'm going to go back to what Maxim was referencing in promoting a little bit more. How do you get a custom Facebook URL for your business? I don't know if you saw, Chris, but when we were setting that up, it asked you when you went through the step-by-step process that you could get that custom URL within the setup process. So when you set the page up, it asks you what your page is about, and then right below that, it asks you what your URL is for your regular website, and then right below that, you can get a facebook.com/ whatever you want to call that. And if it's something that's already taken, it will tell you that it's already taken. It will tell you to choose something else. Oh, reach more is where the default. Okay, that's what it is. All right, so we'll come up here to the build audience. So we've created this page, and then it's going to ask us to build our audience itself. Now, the first one, we can invite the friends. And again, this is where we have all the different people that I'm connected to on a personal level that I can invite into this. Now, this is funny. A lot of people used to abuse this because they used to have this in a grid-like layout. And so you could literally click all of your friends and then send one, just send it all at one time, and then everybody would get a notification to come like your page. They've stopped that, so now you have to click on invite to each person. And if you have a lot of different people that you're connected with, this could take you a long time to do that. So they have made it a little bit more challenging from that aspect. Another aspect in the build audience is to promote the page. So again, once you get to a level that you feel comfortable that you have enough content on there, you can start sending this out, and this will show up in different people's in their newsfeed to like this different page. So Maxim, I'm not sure if this is where you saw that. Oh, I see what you're saying right there. If left blank, your ad will be delivered to the United States. So if you don't put anything, that's what it means. So if you don't put anything in here at all, it'll just be seen by the US, because I think what it's doing there is it's picking up on where my IP address is, and it knows that I'm here in San Francisco, and that it's just going to send this out to the US. But if you do put anything in here, so let's say I want to go to Denizli, Turkey. I could even do that on a city. And then when you're choosing, after you choose the location that you want, so if you're a local business, you're going to want to choose that local audience, because you want those people to come into your location. You want to hit those people that can actually come to your physical location. Then you're going to also pick interests. So, for our example, I can put airline. I can put plane. I don't think nope, it's not in there. So not everything is in here. So just, I guess, well, that's planes and film, but, oops, wrong one. But anyways, you can choose these, but just go through this. It only has specific categories, so it's not going to have everything that you might have on yours. So, if it's, let's see if sandwiches is in here. Yep, sandwich. So if you own a sandwich shop, you could put sandwich in there. And then you pick the age that you want to go, from 13 to no max. You can pick gender if you want to, and then you can set a daily budget of how many likes you want to gain on your page, and it will give you an estimate on how many likes per day that you could get off of the certain budget. So if you want to just do $5 a day and you want to get up to that 100 likes just to get some establishment in there, you're looking at anywhere from 27 to 107 per day. And then you can choose to do that either 7, 14, or 28 days, or you can customize when you want that to end. And then you go ahead and hit promote page, and then this piece will go out, and people can just like right from that like ad right there. I'm going to cancel that promotion because I don't want to do it. And then also, you can also import contacts that you might have. So this is good if you already have a database that you have, you can use, and you'll see that if you happen to be a vertical response customer, you can invite contacts right there using vertical response, and just upload those contacts that you have, and then that will send that out. what it does is it cross-references on the email to the email that people use for their Facebook page. And then it will send out to those people only your ad to like your page. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. We've covered a lot of different stuff. It's about a quarter till, so I'm going to go ahead and just keep doing the Q&A unless you guys need any more specific information. Let's just go ahead and go through this. All right. So Marta, oops, let me find the next question. Got it. All right, so Alex, for some reason my VR contacts don't export correctly into import contacts. Could we possibly chat offline about this? Yeah, go ahead and send me an email, Alex. It's doverbey@verticalresponse.com. That's DOVERBEY, and I will get you in contact with someone in our customer support team. Virginia asks, what is the best size for photos when posting on Facebook? The great thing about posting photos is you can do high resolution photos on the site itself. So actually, it's the bigger the better because it will resize it for showcasing it within the timeline. But once they click on it, it'll actually open that up and show the high res. So if you've got some great photos of your products or services, or if you've got a food establishment and you have some great, you're showing the daily deal or the daily meal, take some big photos if you got them. Diana asks, will this be posted somewhere where we can watch this? Again, yes, I'm going to. It's recording, it says, and I will get this up and I will send out a notice to this group that attended where they can see this. Tom, maybe I missed it, but can I target a certain group, like for corporate events and health holistic groups? Target in your ads, Tom? I'm assuming that's what you mean. You cannot target from the groups from your page, if that's what you're asking, within the ad itself. So Paola asks, how many posts do we publish per day, or how many should we publish per day? Again, I would go back. I think you could be very comfortable with doing 2 or 3 a day and not have any issue with overburdening your audience. What I try to do is I try to do 1 blog post a day that we create on our blog, and then I usually do like a photo that I find, and then I also try to do another piece of content that may be it may have to do with my industry or what I do from a business standpoint, but it would be from someone else, just a great article that I find that I read. And then I do have special days that I do, like on Fridays, a lot of times we do a Friday Funny where I'll find a funny photo and I'll put that up, and we usually get a lot of interaction on that. But you can have all kinds of different things that you do on certain days. Katyan says, I've tried to import contacts and I never get a message that it's been successful. I usually just have to close the window. Do you get a message saying it was? I have uploaded a list into our system, and I don't know why you guys are having that issue. Again, Katyan, if you want to send me an email at doverbey@verticalresponse, I will try to help you offline. Okay, and Virginia asks, what size does Facebook crop photos on your timeline? I had trouble when the whole image was not shown or cropped oddly. I will have to look into that one. I don't know that off the top of my head of what the photo comes up in the timeline, because it's changed now with the new Facebook layout, Virginia. So again, if you send me an email to doverbey@verticalresponse, I will follow up with you on that size dimension. How do you add other administrators? From Mary. Great question, Mary. Let's go here. So when you go into your page, I'm going to go into my real page here. and you go into the settings. And they have changed it. Okay, there it is, page roles. They've just changed the name of it. So if you go into page roles, and then you come down here to the bottom. Now again, to add administrator, you have to be connected to them on a personal profile level. So this has to be someone that your two profile accounts are connected. So then you can start typing their name. So for example, I'll just type someone in there, and then that would make him Dan Webster, who's a friend of mine. It would make him whatever setting I want to give for him. So you can set them up as an admin. That means they get full functionality to do anything on the page. You can make them an editor where they can just change things that are already put up. You can make them a moderator, an advertiser, or an analyst. So you have these different roles that you want to do on that. Maxim, I'm an e-tailer. Any specific suggestion for Facebook business page? I would put a way for people to see your different product or service, or you can highlight that. Pictures do very, very well on Facebook, so the more that you can call out the product itself, the better, that people can easily see that, and then be able if you do put on a picture of an individual product, make sure to link in the post itself to go directly back to where they can purchase that. Marta asked, does Facebook button in a company VR email distribution automatically take the email recipient to the company's Facebook page? No. I'm sorry, does it take them to the page? Yes, so if you use the share button, there's two different buttons that you can have. One button in the newsletter that you put that would go back to your page, and then if you do the social share button, that means that that particular piece of content or that newsletter or that email can be shared on that person's Facebook page. So there's two different buttons that we're talking about, Marta. But yeah, the one, if you put up the button on your newsletter that is a direct link, then that will go right back to your page. Chastity asks, how do you link a PDF document in a Facebook post so that the whole PDF shows up on a post? I don't think you can do that, Chastity. I've never seen a PDF that shows up within the post itself. You would have to just do that as an image instead of a PDF, because I don't think it will upload that, because you can only upload a photo or a video as far as I know. Now in a group, that's different. You can upload documents, you can upload PDFs, but not on the timeline itself that I'm aware of. Jean asks, what is the difference in how many people see my post when someone likes a post, when one, someone likes a post, two, comments on a post, or shares a post? It depends on the audience size of the person that's doing that particular piece of activity. So obviously if they share the post, that means that they're taking the post that's on your business page, for example, and they are sharing that on their timeline. So it depends on what the interaction level is of that particular person. It gets really, really complicated. There's a big algorithm that determines what shows up on whose timeline or news feed for personal profiles versus business pages, and there's no real set hard and fast numbers on who will see that. It's all built into the algorithm, the formula that Facebook comes up with. So I'm sorry, Gene, I can't give you a but the difference on it is you get more chance to be seen if someone shares a post rather than them just liking a post or even commenting on a post. Yeah, hopefully that's what you were asking. Rachel asked, you may have answered, sorry, our business has multiple physical locations and we're managing under one roof. What's the best way to do that? Like I said earlier, if you do have multiple locations, if it's not too out of control, it would be best to make a Facebook page for each location if you can manage it that way. If not, I would just do one page and then you can, in the About section, you can call out that you have multiple locations. But if you're setting up the page, you can only put one location in there that I know of right now. They might have changed that on the new layout, but I have not seen that yet, that you could put multiple locations in there. All right. Facebook reach has declined so much. I have only started with 300 likes on my page. My post sometimes reaches 15 to 30 people. Is there a way to get more visibility without paying to boost my posts? Unfortunately, the only thing that I can suggest, and this is what I kind of do sometimes too, is if you look up here at the top, it says you are posting, commenting, and liking as vertical response, and you can change to Derek Overby. So what I do on some posts that I really want to get some interaction with my own audience is I will change to Derek Overby. Now, what this does is instead of posting as vertical response, I'm now posting as Derek Overby. So what I can do is I can come in here and I can like it, and it will be Derek liking this, and then I can share this. And now I can share it on my own timeline. Have you tried lead generation cards? And then I can go ahead and share that link. And so now that, if I go back to my page, now that is shared on my my personal profile. So now I have the opportunity for this particular piece of content that was on my vertical response page to be seen on from the friends that I'm connected with on my personal profile. The cool thing about this is if they go back and they, say it's a photo or something like that, if they click on it, it takes them back to the original content on my Facebook page. So not only do they get to see the content, but then they also are sometimes jettisoned back to my page too. Oh my God, you guys have some great questions. We just got a lot of them. What is the Pinterest feed? Oh, that's Marta's asking that. It's an app that I have I have all my Pinterest pins come into my Facebook page. I can't remember what the app's called. The app is called, I don't even remember what the app's called. I'm not sure. It was just an app that I found in the Facebook store marketplace. Marta, I'm sorry, I don't remember what the name of it is. Thank you, Chastity. All right, Mary. Mary, why don't you reach out to me, Doverby at Vertical Response, and maybe we can talk offline about timeline and newsfeed. And Darlin, when you create another page from an organization's page, can you create an administrator for the secondary page without giving them the admin role on the main page? Well, your page doesn't actually, Darlin, there might be some confusion. There's actually, your page can't create another page. Again, the profile has to create the page. So, yeah, you could only, if you have two different pages, you would just give one person administrator rights on one page and not the other. So, all right, guys, it's now 11 o'clock straight up. You guys had some great and awesome questions. Thank you so much for your interaction on this. This is a great time on giving you guys some insight on Facebook pages. Again, let's go back to real quick. If you guys have any, looking for some resources that you want to get to, our blog is a great place to find that stuff. We just wrote a post last week on what Facebook, the new page layout, means for your business. So I would definitely go to our blog and find that particular piece. It's on the first page. Again, this will be recorded, so if you guys want to come back and reference this, but go to facebook.com about pages and just learn some more information. And there's always InsideFacebook.com and AllFacebook.com always have some great information about what's going on with Facebook. So again, I appreciate your guys' time. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for the great questions. And hopefully you guys will have learned a few things and make your pages that much better. Have a great rest of the week, and thank you guys for attending.